It's no brainer.
Hi, hello. We're here. Colleen's on a delay.
I know. Oh,
Hey, this song is so
music?
good. I want to hear it twice.
In case you didn't hear it the first time. There we are. We're just waiting for her to catch up. Everyone, nope. 3 times.
Hody, hody, hody,
hello.
hody.
Are we back? Are we here? Am I
We're
caught
here.
up? We are here tonight. Welcome to Survivor with Jamie, Jack, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm down in front. You're blocking my view.
Like, I knew what he was doing. He was standing up to, like, give her, like, a respect, like, standing ovation kind of thing. But, Lordy, I thought he was going to kick the ever-loving crap out of Joe. Or someone.
Oh, my God. Listen, now...
Hey, Chris, how do you know I'm not standing up?
I'm going to say, it might be the leftover margarita mix from the Cinco de Mayo talking, but I suddenly love David. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Is him just standing up out of nowhere. Has anyone ever done that before?
No, but you know, he's okay. Look, I know that first of all, Sherry said Jay put the boys to bed. He actually put the boys to bed like 25 minutes ago. I watched Survivor on my computer, which I never do, and my poor computer is like begging me. I'm gonna probably have to restart at some point because I just keep freezing. But before we do that, yeah, I thought Jack was going to do the whole show standing up. That's pretty funny. I just want to say, and I know that sometimes apparently, you know, they make the rounds, the players. So if anybody from the final 6 that are left are watching, minus Joe, you guys are stupid. You guys are idiots. You had a shot at the king and you freaking didn't even take it. It's not even that you missed. You didn't even take it. Like, no. I want to call you guys a whole bunch of names that I can't say because we are not an explicit podcast, but if this was the broadcast, there would be profanity.
There would be swears. There would
not
be
nice
swears.
words aimed. Like, I don't understand. Like, if Joe gets to the end now, he deserves to win. But like, I absolutely like flabbergasted. Like, good for him. Good for his like social game here because he has so many people that think they're like emotionally connected to him, and it's like. Guys,
yeah,
he wants to win just like you. I cannot believe it.
They are all fighting to win the most loyal. That's it.
They're fighting for second place. But
they're fighting for a third place because even
I would say it's like Boston Rob, the season he won, but those were stupid.
Redemption Island, right? Was that it?
What I don't know what it was, but where they were just dumb.
No.
But these players are smart. And they all know that they can't beat Joe, except
every single person. Every single person's giving their confessional about how. Oh, there's Vivian.
When Kyle gave his confessional about how he was emotional, he goes, he made the mistake of making friends with people and they just respect him too much. They just don't want to vote him out, and it's again.
Then they don't want to win. They don't want to win for their parents. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's why Jeff asked the question. What are you here for? And I'm like going, you know, I like Joe. I want Joe to win. I mean, right now, of the last 6, I can take any of them. I'll be happy if any of them win. Obviously, one of them.
Yeah, they've all played. They've all played good.
They've all played a good game, but if they let Joe go to the finals, or to fire making, it's just. And I don't know.
Here's the other thing. Camilla is smart. Eva sat there and said, hey, I'm playing my idol at 5, and if I'm immune, I'm playing it for Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, dummy, there's only so many spots in the final 3. There's 3 of them. So,
yeah, like, here's where
it's not them, it's one of
you. Here's
gotta give Eva
this. Camilla.
Gotta give Eva this. She's honest.
Camilla has to understand that, like, somewhere in there, right? She has to understand that. Do you know who it's going to be next round? Who's going to be the names? It's going to be Mitch or you.
And Camilla.
You're going to be on a split. You're not going to avoid it. Kyle's not going to be able to save you. He will blow up his entire game. So this is why we see the little preview, you know, where they're both just trying to stir that pot as hard as they can. But like, I mean, I think it's too late. And I think it's too late. They had their moment and they lost it. And they must really, really not trust Mary.
Yeah. I don't think they trust her. And I think, well, she was eating all the coconuts, and that can be frustrating. But I think...
don't touch your papaya, man.
Exactly. I think with I think Kyle probably told Camilla, I'm not going to flip today. He goes, I don't think, because why else would she not? She didn't vote for Joe either.
Well, they had that little conversation that they let us in on just a little bit, right? Where she's like, well, we had a discussion and we both know whether it's today or another day, we both agree we are going to have to take Joe out.
Right.
So it's like, you just told us. You literally just told us it's not going to, it's not going to happen. And I was pretty down from that point on because 1, I lost a final 3. And 2, because they're so super stupid because Eva has got the game stacked with things and literally, like you said, yeah, I'm going to use them to protect him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope Shaheen feels like really confident with Mitch because everyone else is partnering up. Hope he's really good at it. Hope he's good at this game.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he's played it, and he has played a good game.
Yes.
Again, they've all played a great game up to this point, and it's like, you know, I think Eva, her game has basically been loyal to Joe. So I don't know if she's put something together. I think her story is compelling, so I think that gives her a chance. And she's been good in the challenges, and
she's
messing us on Facebook.
Yeah, she's had to restart the internet. The computer pushed her off. Said, "I'm making the decision for the both of us."
Yeah.
Pulled a Mary. Put your name down, Colleen. Whether you like
Mary!
it or not.
All right, where did my thing go here?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where or if they're going to get a chance to, I don't know, work around this one. I find
because now you're at 6. You would need you would have Mitch and Camilla is 2. You would still need a 3rd just to get a tie. You know, who's going to flip on Joe at this point?
Yeah. And you know what? To that, I guess I'll push back a little. I don't think they've all been playing a really good game up until this point. I think that 4 or 5 of them have been playing a really good game up until this point, and everyone else is hidden behind that a little bit. But Mitch had the opportunity last week to take some credit in this game, and he said, meh. And he had it again this week and said, meh. And they keep getting rid of the people that aren't really the ones they need to worry about sitting next to.
Yeah.
Now, the larger alliance, you know, their game's good because they're making sure that they're stacked. But everybody else that had the opportunity to get power just... No,
we still talking about how they're dummies.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yes. I would agree with you on Mitch because the last 2 or 3 weeks, I got to make a move. I can't sit around. I'm on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, this, and what does he do? He doesn't make a move. Even Camilla didn't make a move. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, I would have thought for sure. I mean, she's smart though, so if she saw that she couldn't really shoot her shot, then. I blame Kyle. I don't know if you guys said this or not. I'm so sorry. My computer completely S'd the B bed.
Yes. We decided We decided it told you it was going to write your name. Write your name down.
It did. But then I opened everything up and it did like all the updates. It started updating Zoom. I'm like, I haven't been on Zoom in like 6 months. Like, why is this? Like, this is stupid. Anyway, I'm back now, I think. Yes, I blame Kyle and Shaheen because they both also knew better. And like, because even if Camilla could only get her, Mitch, and Mary on board, like the other 2 weren't willing to flip. And like, I'm sorry, but like, I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know. And I also think that they're playing for second because I do think there's a large contingency of jury members who respect whoever went head to head with Joe. And I don't think that they'd respect Eva because her social game, and we understand has some exceptions, but her social game, I think, does bother some people in general. And it's not from the way she acts about things. It's just, she's outwardly,
it's clear,
yeah.
It's clear, like, well, tonight
she's telling people she doesn't want to work with them, and I think that is a turnoff for a lot of people. So
and tonight, like when Jeff was asking the whole, it was I myself was delighted and found it hilarious because I love seeing the juxtaposition of people's like facial expressions in these like moments where Jeff is trying to get a heavy response. But like everybody is sitting up there crying, talking about their parents, and then there's like Eva over there who just looked bored as spit. Like she's like, come on, let's move on.
She's like, I'm from the suburbs of wherever. I'm
Minnesota.
good.
She's all Minnesotan it out over there. She's
I think she's matter of fact. Though. We came here to vote Mary out. Let's vote Mary out. Let's stop the crying. Let's stop the waterworks.
She's like, we got to move ahead as a team. And it was kind of funny when she's like, yeah, I'm not worried. But I feel like she just she just put something out there that's going to hurt her, and the jury is, I'm not playing an individual game. I'm still playing she basically said, I'm here to play for everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing. She's a hockey player.
Yeah, it's all team.
And she's got team, and that's what's in her blood. So
yep.
What do you think are the odds that any of the three players who rightfully so were very moved by their parents' sacrifice, do you think that any of them got the irony of the fact that none of them were willing to make a sacrifice to actually help their parents?
I sure hope that they do tonight.
I don't want to make them feel bad for that, but like, again, maybe there's more to it, but even if there's more to it that we didn't see, the king was vulnerable. You take your shot. That's it. You could have had him. What's the worst that can happen? Eva gets wind and plays an idol for him. Then Eva doesn't have her idol anymore. And he's mad at you. He still needs your numbers because he and Eva are just 2, and the rest of you then are 4.
Yeah, I was really hoping when Mary was, said, you know what, screw it, I'm going all the way, and says, hey, Joe, just so you know, I'm writing your name down tonight, and got Joe like pretty upset. And then everyone was kind of getting irritated with the way that Joe was sort of responding to that. I was hoping so much that Eva would just be like, you know what, I'm just going to play something for him, because I figured at that point already they were going to vote out Mary. So if they could have at least just fished one of those advantages out, something, nothing. They literally got nothing out of tonight.
Nothing.
Kudos to the editors, though, that made me think that maybe there was a chance.
Yes. And the challenge was like when you thought, oh my God, Joe's going to lose his chance to save himself. It was really exciting. I haven't really cared about a challenge for a couple challenges, so that was nice.
Well, yeah, and that was also the same with like David. If he had won that challenge that he was close to winning, then he wouldn't have gone home. So you could have seen like history also repeating itself, like the way David went out would be the way that Joe went out. And again, like, kudos to Joe. I like Joe. I just think that when you're playing a game and you're up there being like, my parents, left war zones to protect me, but I can't protect them by, voting out somebody that makes me feel good in my feels. Like, I don't know.
Someone I probably won't even keep in contact with after this game is over.
I don't know. I hear that Survivor players, for the most part, do stay close for the post.
Most of them.
I think that's because Survivor now is a younger person's game, and young people are very good about keeping in touch.
I
think I personally would be terrible at it, because I still have like 75 unread Instagram messages for the last like 3 months, because I can't handle it. So.
Like, no, it's too much.
Anyway.
I wrote this down, and I had to write it down because it has been since Carolyn that I've had a quote that I felt like resonated with me so much as the quote that Joe said tonight, which was, deep breaths, don't get weird. I need to write that on my mirror. I need to look at it every day.
I feel like I need to tattoo that on my arm. So whenever I'm in a social situation and I'm like, oh, I just said something really stupid. Do I make this up? Do I just go home and stay awake all night about it? I can just look and be like, deep breath. Don't be weird.
Don't be weird. It was probably the most I liked Joe this entire season. Even when he had his emotional moment, like that was it right there. Because Joe's been kind of moving down in my popularity. Right?
You know what? You know what I think it is he and Eva are too comfortable.
That might be it. Yeah.
And I think that that's the problem, is that they're too comfortable, that they're not putting their like guard up. Like they're kind of letting it down. What do you think, Jack? Like they're
I think it's a combination. I think you can get comfortable. I think he's built such a strong. I mean, the four of them are strong. I mean, for Kyle, his number. He keeps saying his number one's Camilla, but
Yes.
he won't flip. And you saw it. He got very emotional about it. You know, I've told him stories and this and that, and it's rough. I mean, it's. But I think that Joe's another problem too. I think it just gets. You can see they're all kind of getting tired and they're kind of getting edgy and.
Yeah.
They're afraid of what David's going to do. It's like he might jump up and become the Hulk the way he is the Hulk, and because that was a scary thing. He just stood up like that.
Really weird. He did not listen to Joe's advice.
Wait, it was the most exciting thing to end up happening the entire tribal.
I just loved it. I was like, okay, he can stay. He can just sit over there and glare at everybody for the rest of the game. I'm here for it. This is why we have David this season. It is for this. It is for no other reason. But my gosh, like nothing this tribal, right?
Does anybody know how I create a link? Not a link. I would like to create a poll for the chat. And have them. Does anybody know how I do that? Anybody in the chat know how to do that? Somebody text Jay and tell him to come downstairs. I would like to set up a poll so the chat can tell me if they think that this was the time, if they blew their shot for going after Joe, or it was the right thing to do to get rid of Mary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just put it in the chat then, I guess. Like,
getting rid of Mary was just whatever.
Because nobody even she wasn't a challenge threat. It was she's comically bad in all of them.
She can't even cut open. She can't cut open a coconut with one whack.
Yeah, put in the chat if you think that Mary was the right choice. Mary or Joe. Put in the chat. Who do you think was the right choice to go tonight? I'm gonna guess like 100%.
Even if you're a fan of Joe, which I am, Joe should have gone home tonight.
Exactly. And you know what I don't understand? If you don't want to make a move against Joe because he makes you feel like he's like your little teddy bear out there, or you're like your daddy or whatever, like get rid of Eva then.
Thank you, because she's
already like, I have an idol and I'm gonna get to 4.
She told you when she plans on playing those things. She's never really lied. I don't think that she's good with lying. So she told you when she plans on using it. She is completely has no clue this is going on because you reeled her in for the reward dinner. And why did you not go after Eva?
Great setup. So if you don't want to take out Joe, then why is nobody being like Eva? Which actually shows me that the people on that beach that are left do not view Eva as a actual threat to win the game.
I agree.
I don't think she can win the game because she hasn't. She has but the only thing she can say is I've been extremely loyal.
Yeah, she's protected her team. She's worked with her team. Yes,
exactly. But again, I think that they're seeing her as Joe's other half. And Joe is the one that's making the moves, which I don't know if it's Joe or if it's Eva, because we've seen in past episodes that Eva was very, very down with voting out Star last week, who gave her an idol. So whatever, I guess it's not that loyal, but
she's not, she's not part of her team.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
She's not part of her team.
I do think though that, them not wanting to target Eva shows me that they don't think that Eva is a threat to win the game. And maybe they're right. Like maybe they've had conversations out there. But again, you can cripple Joe by going after his number one, who is his solid number one.
Well, you could cripple him, but also if you look at how he reacted to David saying oh, I don't think that you were loyal in this situation. Or how he reacted to Mary saying, I have to put someone's name down and it's going to be yours. where he kind of got a little bit spiteful towards everybody else when they were telling him like, no, I understand you being afraid, but I've been in this position and you have to trust in us.
I'm shocked that Shaheen wasn't like, oh my God, this dude's being a giant baby. I'm going to be the one that flips.
Well, and see, and that's what I mean. Maybe they're afraid of like cutting Eva because that's the Joe they're going to get from here on out.
Okay, but then cut Joe.
But Shaheen thinks he can beat Joe, so he's not on the side where he thinks he's played a better game.
Shaheen, my man, every single person out there is having discussions with you about how Joe gets to the end, he wins. Like, ain't nobody out there being like, "Ooh, if you get to the end, you're a formidable opponent." Nobody's doing that.
Now, one way that Shaheen messed up, like not just Shaheen, but where he lost his opportunity tonight, is that if they had gone after Eva, so we'd have Kyle, Camilla, Mitch, and Mary. If they would have voted Eva out, and Shaheen like said, yeah, let's vote Eva out, let's do that, but then didn't, he would have Joe. He would be Joe's number one. Those two could sail to the end together. And I don't think Joe would ever turn on Shaheen because he was the only one that protected Eva. There are places where Shaheen could have moved in there and maybe sat next to Joe and maybe could convince a jury of his peers that he deserved a shot at the win. But I don't think, like you said, I don't think he's seeing the jury management part of this because all he sees is David standing up and growling at everybody.
Which is also silly. Like, David's on the jury. And if he's giving you evil eye, does any part of you go like, I wonder if he's giving that evil eye and like telling people about me?
Yeah. Yeah. Because David does like to sit and rub his chin and tell people how he feels about things. And I'm sure he has ad nauseum at this point. But Mary's going to get in there. And that's where I think that the jury is really going to get stirred up because they got a few people that are a little bit tense. And Mary is like, she gets around that. She's blowing the whole thing up and they're just going to give it to Joe. Like, they're just going to give it to Joe. Nobody has a chance to win at this point because Mary's going to be like, they're all so stupid. Joe deserves to win 100%.
Yeah.
And she will. She'll literally
Mary's a very influential juror because she seems so resigned.
Yeah.
That that she was thinking about the next part of her game, which was whose game can I F up?
Yep. Who am I going to burn when I have the chance at the end? And I would not be surprised if she stands up during the jury gets to, speak and be like, you're stupid. Literally just tell them how stupid they are. Because, man, it was all there for him tonight. It just was. And it's sad. It's sad when you see all the good things and they go, no, thank you.
Well, they always say, you're not there. You don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm not there. I don't know what's going on, but I know who I can beat and who I can't beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I can beat a Mary.
Yeah.
Because Mary wasn't a factor.
Mm-mm.
And Mary knew at that point she wasn't a factor. So if somebody's saying use me, I super 100% get Kyle being like, I don't trust her. I'm going to still do this. And that was absolutely the right move because she could have it. That was so early into the vote.
Yes.
That Mary easily could have taken, okay, I'm going to go with Joe. She could have easily taken that and been like, Kyle's on board.
Yeah.
And cause chaos. So I 100% get that. But wouldn't it be better to blindside Mary with a Joe blindside?
There was just a lot of potential there. I know that I had said when you were gone, Colleen, that, at one point Kyle and Camilla did say, whether we do it tonight or another time, we both agree Joe's got to go. So I'm not sure why they thought it was too soon. I'd be really curious to hear.
You're at the freaking final 7.
Right. I want to know what they really were truly taking in to think it was too soon. But I think this is going to blow up in their face because next week, if they really are trying to stir the pot and get Shaheen against Joe and Joe against Shaheen, this is where they lose their secret
Well, also they
alliance.
lose it because Shaheen is so willing to work with both of them.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe what we have deceptive editing too. Like,
It's true. There is that.
so
There
yeah,
is that.
we don't actually know. It's just wild to me. Like, take your shot. I get it. Survivor's a hard game. Everybody says it. If you're gonna go out there and play and you don't take that seriously, you were forewarned, right?
Yep.
It's like, I don't know. Somebody says, don't drink that spoiled milk. And then you drink the spoiled milk and, end up having like diarrhea later. And you're like,
Damn it,
somebody
David.
had warned me.
Yeah, I think that's what affected David.
We tried to tell you.
Well, actually, the David thing was why I went for milk, because that was like on the forefront.
There's been way too much.
Maybe that's what happened when he stood up. I don't know. Diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. He actually stood up because he had a gas pocket. You didn't hear that.
Yeah.
It's the IBS.
The little tooth that came out at the end.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyway, the challenge was really great and I loved it and it was really tense and it was freaking me out. And I think I yelled at the TV once or twice to like, just check the front of your letters.
I couldn't believe how many people, like, I get it. The adrenaline's going, your blood is rushing to your ears, but like they were even like, hey, check your front.
Well, even Eva told Kyle, it's got to be the same on both sides.
Yeah.
Check your front. And because Jeff kept saying it, because it was windy because the jungle is real. So
welcome to the jungle.
Speaking of the jungle, that damn fly made an appearance again tonight during one of Eva's confessionals. It just kept trying to fly in her mouth and I could not. It was terrible. It was so gross.
But it was a fun challenge and I'm so happy for Camilla. Honestly, like I'm really happy for her. And it's cool that everybody out there is very supportive of each other in terms of immunity wins. I felt terrible for Mary when she wasn't picked. But I understood Camilla's reasoning. And honestly, I probably would have done the exact same thing.
Yes. Yes.
I think those would have been...
You think that's who you would have picked to go to the...
Yes,
award?
I think that those would have been the two that I picked. And for the exact reasons that she mentioned. Like, Mitch was obviously hungry and he's on the bottom with me. And then you want to set it up so that Eva and Joe feel safe so they don't play any of their stuff.
See,
I think Eva's been on so many reward challenges she's put on weight.
I know, right?
She goes on every single one. I would have traded Eva for Joe. I would have brought Joe so that everyone there had a chance to talk without him there.
Yeah.
If that's who we were going
No, because
after.
then Eva would have been there and they couldn't have talked.
I think Eva feels so confident with her boys, she wouldn't even have questioned it. She'd been laying on the beach dealing with whatever she was dealing with. Maybe had one person with her, but I don't think she would have been trailing the conversations because she feels so good about those boys that everybody's there for each other. So I would have traded it for Joe myself.
Yeah, I think
like you were
think
this
that's
close.
Good call.
Like we almost won together. Like I have to pick you. I know
you make a great point.
Me.
You make a great point, Jamie, because picking Eva was just to keep her away. I mean, what was the point? And like you said, you bring Joe, at least people can talk and say, hey, Mary could have tried to get.
I think Mary could have gotten your ear a little better. Yeah.
But it also looks like you're sucking up to the number one.
Do it. Do it.
But it looks like it to everybody else who doesn't know what you're doing. Like only Kyle knew what she was doing.
I think Mary would have handled it. I think Mary would have been like, okay, we're like, this is what we got to do. Maybe not. But
Mary went back to there's no coconuts left. They're all gone.
Yeah, I know, right? In the chat, Sherry says, I think you're right, Colleen. This was the time if they were going to do it to take out Joe. But the question you have to ask yourself is if you're actually there, do I jump to the bottom of an unknown team or do I stay on the top with this one? I actually think, again, I maintain you take out Joe, you take out Eva, you can form your own new alliance.
Yeah, it's totally fluid, right? Like,
right?
Keep doing
and
it.
You're the strength. So maybe Shaheen doesn't have a chance to win immunity, but everybody else does.
But you know what?
Shaheen. If you had beautiful Shaheen, singing though.
Yeah, he's giving his little singing out his little tunes. Shaheen and Kyle and
he should join Venus's singing group with
yeah,
what's his face that plays music for them. Anyway, sorry.
But I think Shaheen and Kyle and Camilla, I mean, Shaheen might not realize he was number 3 in that alliance, but that alliance could have very quickly and easily formed without Joe there.
Yeah.
And like probably have talked Eva into it too, because.
And even if she was pissed so
Even
much,
if
she
she
plays
was
her
mad,
idol.
yeah.
She plays her idol at 6, and then
Right.
she's vulnerable at 5.
Yeah. She would be mad, but I think that they could still reach out to her and be like, we had to do it.
And the jury is going, the jury is
I
going
don't think Eva would have accepted it.
Maybe not. Maybe she would have like said, okay, yep.
Yeah, I don't think she would have said that. I think she would have gone a crusade.
provision on
Okay,
it.
fine. She gets immunity, sure. But at the end of the day, the jury is reading that jury and what we know of them, even watching it, because I've only listened.
That is a bitter jury.
Yeah, I've only listened. I don't think I've listened to any of the post-merge exit interviews because we were in Japan and I just never caught up. So like, listen, like looking at them, reading the room, they're going to reward whoever takes out the number 1 player, whoever checkmates Joe or Eva by getting the other one out. That's who they're going to reward. So it doesn't matter if Eva goes on whatever. She can't, like, she didn't do great today. So she's vulnerable. She's an incredible athlete, but she's still vulnerable.
Yes. Who do you think, Mitch, let's take Joe out of the equation. Let's say Joe went home tonight. Do you think you'd have like a Mitch and Mary alliance? Camilla, I mean, would it be 2 separate like duos, or what would we get? Like, what's the combo?
I think they would just keep Mary. I think Mitch would be the next one to go.
You think he'd be in the next?
I do kind of think that,
because you'd have Shaheen, Kyle, and Camilla,
mm-hmm.
and Eva would probably stay with them, right?
Or she has an idol / immunity.
Yeah.
So she's safe. So I think, if you're smart,
yeah.
Get rid of
I mean,
Mitch.
at this point, she also has the safety without power. So Eva has a guaranteed spot to the Final Four at this point. Which again, she even slipped tonight, which she's like, I already have. I already have an idol. Like nobody picked up on that.
Yeah.
But so she has a guaranteed spot to the Final Four. Cool, good for her. That's incredible. Like, you go, girl. I think Mitch is screwed whichever way he goes because he keeps even if it was Joe that went home tonight, Eva that went home tonight, Mary that went home, I think Mitch is still screwed. Yeah. Unless he wants to make a move and tell the big power players like, hey, blah, 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 blah. But he's not playing that game. Camilla and Kyle are playing that game. It's too late for Mitch.
It's too late because he's on the bottom of everything. I
love Mitch, but you're not being assertive enough.
Yeah. You know what? I will say, like, this last season of AU Survivor proves you can play from the bottom, but you have to have guts. And if Mitch sat at the bottom this entire time, but would have guts when he needed to, he could march his way down to the end because he's on the bottom. It's a great place to be if you have guts, but he doesn't. Unfortunately,
Mitch doesn't have no guts.
Ain't got no guts, no gravel in those guts.
He's too nice.
Yep, he is. He's just doesn't want to upset the waters. He just wants a little snacky
like
snack.
Mitch, but yeah, he's too nice.
So he's really not playing a great game. He's good in challenges. I would like to be able to see him have enough food and energy to perform in challenges again, because his first couple he did really great in. And I'm curious to see what Mitch might try to do if he were to win.
You know what he might try to do? Like Sherry said, give another speech. Make a move.
But if he were to win an immunity somehow, some way, if he were to win an immunity.
Yeah, like this is giving Mike and Ben, like, and they don't even need immunity for people to just be like, let me just not vote you.
Mitch is not the first person to keep saying that every week, and then
but not even.
Very true. But Mitch is the one that is absolutely the most in danger next week, which we can get to in a second. So let's take a commercial break, and we will switch over to the tally of the votes. Okay, cool. We're back.
No email from Mandy?
We have an email from Mandy.
Okay. Mandy.
And Mandy says, personally, I prefer the banana etiquette Or the coconut etiquette throwback to heroes versus villains and
Yes.
James. That's funny. Yeah, we didn't talk about the coconut etiquette enough. Like Mary was definitely hangry and definitely not handling that the proper way. But Eva also should have been like, okay, she's hungry. I'm just gonna stand back. But that also shows her youth too. Because when you're that age, and I'm sorry, I don't do whatever, but like you're that age, you're more likely to be like, ew, girl, like, ew, what's wrong with
Yeah.
you?
Eva, you've eaten 9-course meals 5 days in a row.
I know.
And I love that Mary, like, she clocks it. She's like, you're gonna get pulled to the next like reward. Like, who are we kidding? They're not taking me.
You're like, oh my God, you can't eat a coconut now. You have to wait 4 whole hours till the reward is done. But also, I mean, not the most mature way to handle things, but all right.
I was wondering, are the coconuts, are they stored there?
Yeah, they're in
'cause
trees.
Okay, there's got to be more trees on the island. Go outside your comfort zone and look for another coconut.
Go for a walk, man.
Yeah.
Mandy continues, how is it I think this season is good, but also kind of boring? It's giving old school Survivor vibes. I guess. Yeah, I think you're right. It's good, but boring. Like because the people are good. We like the people this time around. Like, again, I could be happy with a win for anybody that's left because I think that they're all like, I like them. Like, there's nobody out there.
They got rid of all the people that were, I don't want to say troublemakers, but people that were.
Well, they stopped casting villains, so to speak.
Yeah, except for they had like 3 villains in this season, pretty much, don't you think? I would say
yeah, that's right. We had the music guy.
You know, I would say that Say was kind of a villain. Like, she was
I
like,
miss Say. Could you imagine if Say was
fun.
here?
She was fun. She was mean, but she was fun. And like, but
I don't think she was mean. I think she was exactly just as truthful as Eva was.
Well, I mean, Eva hasn't called anyone hoochie mamas, so there is that.
But is that an insult? Is that an insult, though?
Yes. Say meant it as an insult for sure.
Nobody's ever called me that.
But like,
hoochie mama.
David's kind of villain, right? I mean, he does stand and glare at people.
But he's not. He's just bitter juror. The music executive guy, he was on track to be a good villain. The California girl.
Thomas?
Yes.
Thomas,
yeah. Yeah, Thomas was a villain.
Yeah.
Potential.
I actually do hope
a little more naturally ready to butt heads with other people, you know?
Honestly, I genuinely hope that one day, one of these seasons, we can go back to the people like the Davids. And I'm not even like advocating for like the John Lovitts of the world, but like the people who like burned brightly and then crashed, like who had personality and just got cut for whatever reason. And I actually would really like to see a season with people who were pre-merge boots and everybody gets a chance to shine. Like, honestly, I truly do.
We had so many good ones. We really have.
Over the course of 40, 50, 48 seasons. Like,
I mean, if you listen to any of Star's exit, if you get around to listening to any of the interviews, Stars are fun, as you would imagine. But she's like constantly like, when I come back for like season 55, like she's convinced she's gonna come back, which I could kind of see just because her personality is great. But like, unfortunately, she needs to like maybe rewatch some seasons. She didn't quite catch on. She was making all of the worst moves at the beginning, and kind of stuck her there, you know.
She's not a good player.
Right. She did the wrong things all at the same time.
Great personality, but if you're a terrible player, I don't want you back.
Yeah. So we need
there are people that we didn't even get to see them shine, and that's who I would love to see come back.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I told you. I've said have a season where the first person voted out.
I've said that since John Lovett got voted out. So like a whole one season, I have said that.
So Francesca can get voted out first again.
I don't think Franny's coming back ever.
But I think that I've been saying that since we started this thing.
It would be very compelling. Like, that's the ultimate, like, you know, I get knocked down, but I get up again. If I get knocked, I get cut, you know, voted out first again. Then I just get knocked down again. No, I would love to see first person voted out or just pre-merge in general. Like there's so many people I think that were really good TV that just what about what's his face? From Shan's season.
Ricard.
Not Ricard. Ricard was
Oh.
post-merge.
He's awesome. I love Ricard. He needs
Is
to be
Ricard
back.
coming back for 50? I guess we don't know who's coming
I
back.
don't know.
No.
He better have that hair.
TK. Was it TK? TK?
I don't remember.
The kid that was like super
The young-
hyper and,
the
and
young
super
kid.
excited to be there.
Yeah.
Like a Kayla like prototype.
He was like
1.0.
really excited. He was not playing well, but he was like so jazzed to be there and is a super fan. He just needed a little maturing.
Spectacular to bring back. I thought he was really fun. All right. Anyway, Mary, we had Jack's the only one that gets points for her.
Jack.
For Mary, I have
Yeah,
a post merge.
You had her final
Yeah,
three.
final three. And,
That cuts me the post merge.
You had her final three.
Boo.
But I had her
Tough
pre-merge,
break.
so
tough
happy to be
break.
wrong about that. I enjoyed Mary
Tough
on my
break.
screen.
That's
So
great.
Jack gets a point. There we are.
Good job,
then-
Jack.
Jack
Good
gets a
job,
literally-
Jack. What am I gonna stand up and stare at you now?
Nobody gets points for who went home. We are bad at this game, guys.
Are
Jamie,
we
it should have been
okay.
you.
Okay,
It
hold
should
on.
have been you. Actually, they're bad at this game. 'cause
They
it's
are bad at this
now.
game. We're just fine.
I
We
had
are
Kyle
adequate
first, so yeah.
at best, but
Really? Why not take Mitch out? Mitch can win a challenge.
get
Yeah.
rid of get
Mary
rid of
can't. Mary.
All right, who do we think is going home next week? I'm going back to my Mitch vote.
Going with Mitch.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't want to say Shaheen because he's another final three, but I kind of think I need to put him on there.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm going with Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch,
All right.
Mitch.
I just don't see him doing anything but voting with the Poplar folks, and they're going to vote him out. So.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean,
the only wrench in the plan here is if Camilla and Kyle's, like we see in the previous cause, so much chaos that they just basically are like, you know what? F them, and they cut Camilla out.
I'm gonna actually, if I can, I'm gonna take back the Shaheen and put on Camilla, which is equally painful. Even though I don't have points for her, I just love her.
I can see it being Camilla too. Like I kind of want to also go with Camilla. I think we're at the point where Kyle is giving us enough emotional little crybaby confessionals about how he can't betray one or the other. And I think
I don't know if it's crybaby. I think he's.
I just can't do it.
All right. I was being dramatic.
He has a. He's not. What's his name? What's his name? What's that super fan that always cried?
There's a whole list of them.
What's his name? Who always cried? Oh God.
He's on. Rob has a podcast. He's crybaby.
Rob something.
No.
He's on. You mean Fishback?
Fishback, yeah.
Fishback didn't cry all the time. He had diarrhea. It was painful. Leave him alone.
You guys are missing. You're forgetting the guy from like 3 seasons ago that
I thought you meant
Mackenzie had to pull from the brink of death.
Yeah, that guy. That's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, Fishback was a crier too.
Fishback.
He was right though. They should have cut Joe. No, yeah. What was that guy's name? Oh my God, I'm blanking. Chat, you're not being very helpful right now.
Yeah, let us know. Remind us of what that guy's name was. We've tried to forget it because it got really cringy.
Where's Matt Treese?
He doesn't watch Survivor.
He's not here for this party. Can I poke one more? Like, it's really stupid, but I just have one more complaint that I have to air.
Sure.
Jeff referred to those wheel thingies as Survivor wheelbarrows. First of all, you don't need to call them Survivor anything, Jeff. You didn't call them Survivor vases. And 2, it is not a barrel of any sort. So do not call it a wheelbarrow. It is a wheel. And that's that. That's my complaint.
I did hear that. I go, has he ever said that about another thing?
It was weird. Jeff, come on now.
Well, we've lost Colleen. She's trying to find that guy's name.
I'm trying to find the name of the guy.
I podcast with Chris Chris and Boston long enough to know when we've lost him. He's on there Googling.
It wasn't Carolyn's season. It was Mackenzie's.
Oh, you're right.
The one
The
that
guy that
Mackenzie
cried all the
was.
time.
He
Is that
sure
46?
did.
Oh, Banu.
Banu, that's who. Oh, well, he was obnoxious.
Yeah.
He wasn't obnoxious. He just cried all the time.
No,
He was always complaining and
He laid on the sand and cursed God. Okay.
he blamed God for not being a fan of his on Survivor.
That was pretty diva right there.
When he did that, he didn't get his torch snuffed. He got hit by lightning.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Should I do?
God said, "All right, now you're pissing me off."
Enough's enough, Banu.
Oh, should I do Camilla or Mitch? Camilla or Mitch? I'm gonna change to Camilla too. Okay, I'm switching to Camilla too. But somebody remind me that I had Mitch first. I'm gonna remind myself.
He called God out. You don't call God out and expect to win, because then God's like, "All right, I got a lot of things going on up here, you know."
Yeah, here, deal with some flies.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
All right. On that note, though, everybody, thank you for joining us this evening. Next week, we will be recording on May 15th.
Thursday.
On the Thursday.
I gotta do like 7.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Let me double check. Thursday's a big day. Thursday's a big day around here. It's really not. I think it'll all be done by that time.
All right, 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday next week, guys. So I hope you can join us. Plenty of time for the West Coast folks who have then had a day to watch it to join us as well. I'm talking to you, Shandy.
Come on, Shandy.
How about one? I love Mandy's emails, but how about more than just one?
Yeah, where's Victoria?
Victoria! I think she gave up on Survivor.
I think she did too.
She's out of here.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Thank you the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level, and that'd be Eckhart, Rick, Maggie, the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Ed, the Creepy, Poopy, and Mim. Thank you guys so much. If you have any feedback, survivorjjc@gmail.com. Again, next week, you'll have a whole day. So if you don't watch it live, you can still send us something next time.
An entire day. You could even include your vote on this poll that we only got like one vote on in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
you, Marcy, for being the only vote.
I hate to say lazy chat, but lazy chat.
Get up and vote. Vote for Joe. Get out, Joe.
If you want to be a patron.
It's your right to vote.
It is your right.
It is. It's fact. That's true.
Get on your wheelbarrow, Survivor wheelbarrow.
Your Survivor your wheel non-barrel.
Look, Colleen wants to go watch Andor. So let's stop.
Oh, I do want to watch Andor, but no. I think Jay's probably going to sleep at this point. All right. On that note, everybody, though, if you want to be a patron, patreon.com/JayandJack. Okay. Now that I've got that thought out that you guys cut me off on a few minutes ago, we'll see you next Thursday, May 15th, and then we'll have the finale. So come with your final 5 next week in order.
Do it.
All right. On that note, my name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
Jack.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.